Hi, I'm Tony's Final Hillside Christmas Tree Farm. It's time for shearing. So the branches have hardened off. We see our bud sets is happening, and today's August 3rd. So we're going to get going on shearing. I use a long-handled serrated knife. I put some tape on the handle just to add a little bit extra grip. I also kind of tape my hand to avoid blisters. And other stuff I'll carry with me depending on tree heights, maybe like 2-foot pole pruner. Then a little satchel here where I'll have my steel to sharpen the serrated blade. It's got a bevel, so it helps maintain that serrated edge. Hand clippers, ADC bands, some tags, a little knife to remove some pitch. On the cart I'll have an extra shearing knife and I can remove that the sap and pitch that happens. What's good about today is it's like 50 degrees, so it's all the dew and everything is on the trees will help keep the pitch off the blade. But yeah, so it's about 9:15. We're going to get started on trees that we're still a couple years from harvesting. So some of these I left leaders long last year. I don't feel that I need to stretch them out this year just because of height and where they are in the rotation. They're, I think, about 2 more growing seasons from harvest. So we're going to bring them in and just kind of really final touch them as we want them just to poof out next year to fill in and just have a good shape. So, all right, that's what we're going to do today. And yeah, why don't you follow along? Straight blades. I made the switch to straight blades maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I find the serrated blade much easier to shear with. So that's my 2 cents. Longest time we're using straight only. But yeah, it's really different. Really easy. So now our steel here is contoured, and we'll just do a couple filings down each edge. So I gotta do a nice warm up. Got the camera on my forehead. Start on this edge. We work in the shade for at least a little bit. Ugh. Some of these might need more than others, and we'll just kind of go for it. So yeah, this one doesn't need much. Growing pretty thin. This one here, good. And the top. Top looks good on that one. This one here, I don't think needs much at all. Okay. This one here is getting a little long, so we're gonna make sure he stays nice and slim. Don't want big, tall, fat trees. So here we're going to trim the leader. When you cut the leader, you got to cut the tips. All right. 2 rows, we're going to do 2 rows, okay. This one here, done. This one, good, right? Later, big gap here, so we'll just kind of nip it here. So this is the experiment, right? Talk about buds. There's 3 buds here. We'll peel these off, see if this one here takes all the dominant leader juice. These ones will become branches. We gotta shorten up this guy here, so this one's getting tall, right? Want to bring it all in. Stick, put in our satchel. This one that had the ring on, so leave the horns. Be a little bit long on top, and we'll do the sides. So here's one that maybe have got damaged of some sort. I don't know, something's weird. Buck rub. So there's a lot going on with it. I think what we'll do is we'll cut the old leader off. Keep that as the new one. That and that gotta go. And now we have our point. And we can cut back in the old growth a little bit. This tree's obviously only 3 feet tall. So it's going to take a little bit to recover, so we have time to give it the shape that we want and make the corrections. And think about it, it's pretty low in the whole shape, or rotation, selling point, right? Knee height. So now we got a little tree here. I think that leader height is good. With the bud density that it has, there's a little gap here. I think that'll be okay, and then we have good buds along this edge. So this one here is looking pretty empty. So we'll cut them down, we'll slow it down, give it a little more time to fill in. This thing here, we don't want this stuff growing next year. That one there is good enough for the leader. We'll nip. Leader will leave. This guy, that leader's too long. Like so. Some don't need a lot, some need more. Some will keep pretty short, right? This has got a hole, we need to fill this all in. This one's too empty to kind of stretch or anything like that, so we're gonna let it go. Trim it up, we can't let it go. Oh. All right. This one here, I was thinking about doing a whole separate video on. I think a deer rubbed on it. And never got around to it, so I will do that now. Because it's got a lot of work that's got to get done to it to save it. Alright, so we got to save this tree. So we're going to put this down, get our protectors off, we're going to get our saw. Because I don't know what happened way down here. Double deer rub something, and I like this whole structure better than this, so we're going to use our saw on our fancy multi-tool here. And actually cut out half this tree. All right, there we go. Now we got something to work with. Now, yeah, we just really emptied that up, so obviously we can't leave it like that. So in time, I don't know, we'll see if this thing can be saved. But we're going to shorten this up. Gonna nip these. All right. That way way none of that stuff takes over because it just senses the damaged top. Then we're going to bring all this really in. Put our covers back on. Right? I mean, the thing is definitely fatter than what it needs to be, so we're going to see what we can do. Hammer the sides along the bottom. Old growth. Doesn't really matter. Because right now this tree is heading toward the junk pile. So if we see it now, we can see kind of we have our tree shape that we're after. And we'll see if buds, you know, we'll get some kickers and shooters that go back and stuff like that. It's going to be kind of a mess for a couple years, but we'll see how she grows. But it's important to, you know, have only one stem, and maybe I missed it that year, or this is why it's important to kind of go at year 2 maybe to make sure you don't have any doubles, because that'll happen if you miss it. So yeah, we'll see what that turns into. All right, so now get into our balsams. I'm going to spend less time talking, more time shearing. So here we go. At this stage, we're just, the structure should be there. We are just after shape. Correct some minor stuff if we need to. So I probably didn't need to cut that leader, but at the height of it, that's already, you know, an 8-9 foot tree. If I let that thing go next year, it's just natural. It'll grow another 3 feet. I won't be able to reach it. So you can use, you know, cutting that leader down just to slow the whole tree down, which is what I need to do in that case. Here's where you can choose, right? You can choose the good one that's good height or the one with vigor. Let's take the one that's got the height this year. This one here is a nice long leader last year. This year, good crown, set the same. I don't want to do that again this year. So it's all in where the trees are in the rotation. These being 2 years out, we want them really to focus on filling in. This one's 6 feet, next year's 7. Looking for an 8-foot tree out of this one, 8, 9. All that'll fill in. This one here's big. Here's another one. We got some bigger corrections we need to do. You know, deer rub or something happened. So we will cut this off here. Let that kind of fill in that way here. And we'll give it a good tight pruning job. Really bring in the bottom because it's growing pretty lopsided right now. Right? Fat but not tall, so let's bring it in. This thing just needs some more time for corrective. So we do have to nip these. This one will hit right here. And hopefully we'll save that tree. All right, so we're done shearing for the day. We did, I don't know, 10, 15 rows, maybe 400 trees here, and then I did some more over there. So just kind of talking shearing strategy here. Trees on this side of the driveway will be harvested and opened up this year in 2025 for Christmas. So our shearing method is going to be a little bit different, and I'll go through that in a different video. But over here, we have 4 acres of trees, and so kind of years away from harvest is how we kind of determine how we're going to shear and how long to leave the leaders, how tight to bring them in. And I'm thinking that will be 25, and then we'll divide this in 2. So 26 will be kind of the farther end down, and then 27 will be here. So being that we're, 2 more growing years, I only want those little pop outs. We're really concerned about the tree filling in, so we don't need to stretch the leaders anymore. So I nipped probably about every leader inside the field that I did here, and maintained again some of the longer leaders where I left. We envisioned that shape coming up and where the tree was going to end up, right, its final sail height. So some are a little longer, a little loose up top. What I did in the past was kind of made them, teardropped, right? I really brought them in on the sides and then came to a point, and it was too soon for harvest, and noticed that our customers didn't react well to that. But here we want nice, full, tall trees. So we're getting there, and we'll just we're just looking for 2 more years of nice pop out, nice uniform, correct any last issues, because we only have 2 more seasons left. So that's what we're going for here. There are some small trees in here because we've replanted, but again, every tree got topped, that 12 to 14, 18 inches with, 2 more heights left. There were some that I had to get the pole pruner out. So me with my 2 foot, I couldn't reach it. So those are going to be my big guys. Pretty excited, and we'll keep this going, and you'll see how those look. Here we like them a little more wild looking, and we just kind of set the height and things like that, and we'll go through that in a different video. Now the field I did earlier with that 24-inch leader, that field it might get leapfrog. So here we're at 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. It's going to be 28 or 29 harvest year. So it's hard to think that far ahead, but we're 3-4 years depending on what we did, because that was 21. We might leapfrog 20. Still some time to figure that out, but just that one we're willing to stretch out longer because we know we have the time to fill it in. So think about what you're trying to achieve, and you're not trying to make, if you are, little tabletop trees, shear that way. We're not doing that. We're trying to get big trees quickly and efficiently and good density. So all right, that's all I got for today. It's a beautiful day today, mid-70s, and got a lot done. Dad's mowing, so it's a little easier to walk through. And yeah, so we'll keep it going. We'll probably do another video or 2 on these, because that was a lot of balsam. We have the Concolor, the balsam, and Canaan, all that stuff. So, all right, now we still have all the spruce to do, but it's that time. So, yeah, take your nice 70 days when you get it. So, all right. Thanks for watching. Let me know any questions, comments, tools to use, yeah. All right, good stuff. All right, thank you. Have a good one.